Alright, so today we're looking at simultaneous equations. You had there in your book. I asked you yesterday to complete for me question number 30, 31, 32, 33 and 34. Alright, it was quite a lot, but I know simultaneous takes us long. So if you didn't finish up, we're going to mark the first two and then I'm going to give you time to finish the rest. For today, I want you to look at, we're going to this is actually supposed to be a revision, no? So today's exercise is going to be exercise 1.5, exponents, from question number 1.1 until 6.2. That's what you can do. So if you're done with this until number 34, then you can do that. All right. So I'm first going to look at question number 30. Question number 30 says we have two equations. We have two equations there, namely y plus 7 is equals to 2x, and that is my first equation, so I go and name him. Then the other one is x squared minus xy plus 3y squared is equals to 15, and that is equation number 2. Alright, so the first thing that we go normally, and we go through a certain process where we identify certain stuff, like for example what is challenging to us. For example, learners chewing bubblegum in class and etc. No? Alright, so we identify the challenges that we have there. We first work with the easiest one. So the easiest equation here is going to be the first one, because the first one is a linear equation. This is called a quadratic equation. Why is it called a quadratic equation? Because the highest power that we have in the variable is to the power of 2. Alright. So we're going to take the first one when we're going to make one of the variables the subject. So it will be the easiest to make y the subject in the first one. So therefore I'm going to say y is equals to, I'm taking over that 7, and we write it as 2x minus 7. Alright, and we call that equation number. Now you can call it any name. You can even call it the Ronaldo if you want to. Alright, but for purposes of time, writing out the Ronaldo is going to be a little bit long, so we use numbers instead. So I'm going to call this equation number 3. But equation number 3 is just a derivation of equation number 1. So what we're going to do is, now we're busy with simultaneous equations, so we're going to substitute equation number 3 in equation number 2. So that means everywhere where there's a y, I'm going to substitute 2x minus 7. So I write down x squared minus x. There's a y. Now I write 2x minus 7. Close, plus 3 bracket 2x minus 7. Now that y is squared there, so I need to square this one as well, is equals to 15. And now from here onwards we can simply just do basic algebra and expanding of products and etc. So this is going to be x squared minus, so I'm going to expand there on the parent method, so that becomes 2x squared, and then 7 times x becomes positive, and negative times a negative is equals to a positive 7x. Alright, here BODMAS, you need to apply the rules of BODMAS. This is a binomial squared, so I'm going to leave the 3 outside for now. I'm first going to do the 2 brackets. Alright, so I'm going to say, now we can write out the brackets 2 times, but we are in grade 11 and we know that this is actually binomial squared, and we know that the property of a binomial squared tells me that the first term is going to be this one squared, so that becomes 4x squared. The second, or the middle term, is going to be the first term times the second term times 2, so that means it's going to be 2x times with negative 7 which equals to negative 14. Negative 14, if I double that, I get negative 28. So negative 28x, and then the last one is going to be the negative 7 that I square, so that becomes positive 49. Alright, is equals to 15. I'm going to bring that 15 over in the next step. I'm first going to remove my brackets. I can check here for like terms. If I have any, I can add or subtract them. I have here, but let me just write out, do the expanding done. We'll finish with the expanding. So that now becomes x, 2x squared plus 7x plus, now I need to distribute this 3 with all of these. So this now becomes 12x squared, and that becomes 84x plus 147. 147, and then I bring over the 15, minus 15 is equals to 0. Now I look for likely terms. What is likely terms? Terms that have the same variables and the powers are also the same. And I'm going to do addition and subtraction of like terms. So the first like terms that I see here is x squared negative x. That gives me, if I add these two, I get negative x squared. There's another one, plus gives me 11x squared. Alright, so we're done with that. Now I go to the x terms. So that's 7 minus 84. 7 minus 84, Kamohelo says it is 77. 77x, and then, so I'm done with that one. Yes, thank you. Kamohelo, why didn't you say it's negative 77? Man? Okay, it's negative 77. Eh? Alright, so, and then we have here 147 and minus 15. 132. Say positive 132 is equals to 0. Now what you can do here, if you identify that this is actually all multiples of 11, you could have divided by 11. If you didn't do that, it's not the end of the world. You can still use your quadratic formula by solving that. No? What I did here, I saw that this is multiples of 11, so I went right through and I divided by 11. So 11x divided by it is given to x squared, that is equals to negative 7x squared, and 132 divided by 11 gets me to positive 12. So that's much easier to simplify than this one. Alright, so now I can see the factors of the first term, factors of the last term, x, and then 12 is going to be 3 and 4, so that means this is a minus, and a minus is equals to 0. So what we have there is a zero product. Ever heard of that? Yes, if you've never heard of that, I'm a little bit concerned, because then we need to get your ears test. No? Now we go on and we say the answer here is going to be x is equals to 4 or x is equals to 3. That's my two answers for x. I'm not done, because we had not only one variable, but we had two variables. Now we go to and substitute x equals to 4 in. You can literally choose any three of these equations, but why complicate life for yourself like that? So go and choose the easiest one, and the easiest one is going to be equation number 3. So we're going to substitute into equation number 3. So we're going to say y is equals to 2 times the 4 minus 7, so that's 8 minus 1, sorry, 8 minus 7, and then the answer is 1. So therefore I'm going to say where x is equals to 4, y is equals to 1. Alright, then I'm done with that one. And then I'm going to say substitute x equals to 3 in equation number 3. Then we're going to go and we're going to say y is equals to 2 times 3 minus 7 equals to, that becomes 6. 6 minus 7 is equals to negative 1. So that means where x is equals to 3, y is equals to negative 1. Great stuff. So I hope you got the answers. Yes, well done. Those of you who didn't get that answers, please check where you perhaps made a mistake, or so that you can fix the corrections now. Now we're going on to the second one, but before we get to that, so please make sure you tell them, because time is running out. X minus 3 is x minus y is equals to 3, and equation 1, and then the other one is x squared plus 7. Alright, so you will see if you go through the processes and you remember all your maths since grade 1, this stuff is actually not so difficult. No? Just need to do the work. And sometimes we tend to not do the work. Alright, so here we go. We're going to make let's make x the subject here. So to make x the subject, this now becomes x is equals to 3 plus y. Alright, that becomes equation number 3. And then I'm going to substitute 3 into 2. Alright, so that now becomes, everywhere where there's an x, I'm now replacing the x with 3 plus y. So that becomes, there's an x there, so that becomes 3 plus y. I'm going to square it, minus x. Alright, so I'm just going to write the y in front. Now this becomes 3 plus y is equals to 2y squared plus 7. Alright, let's go do the expansion. So that becomes 3, 9 plus 3 times 6y, and then the last term is going to be y squared. This is going to be negative 3y, and then negative y squared equals to, I'm going to bring that over, so that becomes negative 2y squared minus 7 equals to 0. What do I do now? I look for like terms. So the like terms will most probably be 9 and negative 7. Nine and, okay, so that's positive 2, no? Alright, and then the y's, so I'm done with this one and this one. 6y and 3y gets me to positive 3y, and then, alright, so I'm done with that one. Y squared minus y, those two cancel out, so I'm left with negative 2y squared. Alright, you can work with the negative. I don't like working with the negative in front, so I'm going to bring everything over to the other side, but that means all of the sign changes. Alright, so that becomes now 0 is equals to 2y squared minus 3y minus 2 equals to 0. Alright, you can go and use the quadratic formula, but you can see here that it's actually simple, no? So 0 and 0, that's going to be 2y and y, and then the factors of 2. Alright, 2y and y, so this needs to be 2. Alright, so there needs to be 2 and there needs to be 1. So this needs to be negative there, and a positive there. Alright, so this, once again, we have a 0 product, so we say 2y plus 1 is equals to 0. Take that over, so that becomes 2y is equals to negative 1. So y is equals to negative 1 over 2. And the other answer here is y is equals to 2. Alright, that's my two answers for y. I'm not done. I go and I substitute where y is equals to negative 1 over 2. Sorry. Yeah, where y is equals to negative 1 over 2. We substitute this into equation number 3. Am I right? Did I make any mistakes? Is that right? Still. Alright, so now we're going to say substitute y is equals to negative of in equation 3. Question? Ask. Question number 3. Alright, now we're going to say equation number 3 says x is equals to 3 plus y, which is negative of, and that becomes 2 and a half. Or some of you might, if you type this into the calculator, you get 5 over 2. Alright? So that means that's the value for x. So x is 2 and a half, and y is equals to negative half. And then the other answer is there. Substitute, so we're going to say x is equals to 3 plus 2, and that gives me to 5. So that means x is equals to 5, y is equals to 2. Great stuff. Alright, please do corrections if you didn't do so, and then we're going to give you a pause for now.